Why step away from the job?
Well, the pandemic has a lot to do with it. I mean, my plan was to stay until my 20th anniversary, which would have been in 2023. But the pandemic's kind of brought that a little closer, and because I lost my father when I was 13. He was 45, so the pandemic, kind of brings life its curveballs, and you start thinking, you got a finite number of years, and so I'm in my 60s, and I owe my wife a debt of gratitude because she's let me do this job, and she sacrificed for that, so I need to pay that back. And I don't know how much time I have, but it just felt right. We're coming out of the pandemic. We have vaccines, and Boone County, Columbia leads the state and all that, and so I feel like we're pretty healthy. Going into that, people are feeling good about it, and so I think it's the right time to move forward and let somebody else carry the ball. You go back and look at city managers in general, they don't have a long life in certain areas. Ray Beck was, I will tell you, an anomaly. He had the same mayor for, 15 years, and so that's kind of an anomaly. And so, the perspective on that is they only last 5 to 7 years. My goal is 3 years is, my dad always tell me, don't wear out your welcome. And so, that, 3 years, hopefully I didn't wear out my welcome. People would still, think I was doing a good job. But if you go farther than that, then you start running into things where you've disagreed with a lot of people, and so you lose track, they lose, we want somebody new, we don't agree with John anymore. And so I didn't want to get to that point. And so, that's why I said, I'll do it 3 years, which if you count my interim, it'll be three years and 2 months. So I feel pretty good about it. Number one, I was honored that council even selected me. I'd been here for many years, and I can tell you, we didn't always agree with council, or I didn't agree, and I would state things that they probably made them bristle. But they did select me, and I'd been here for probably 16 years at that time, and so I knew how everything worked. I knew the issues. I knew all the cracks, or you want to say, or the things that needed fixing, and so I really had an advantage for a lot of people. It didn't take me long to get up to speed. Now, being a city manager is a little different story. Because I wasn't prepared for that, obviously. I walked into the mayor's office, and here sat the mayor and Carl Schuyl and Betsy and Nancy, and they're telling me I'm going to be the interim if I'll do it. It's kind of a shock because you weren't expecting it after a council meeting. So, that's a shock. And so after you get over that shock, okay, in the first couple of months, I can do this. This is not hard. I mean, I've been here. You just make the relationships. And so, I went out and started building relationships with the chamber, with the university, Stevens College, Columbia College, the county, Moberly area, and Peter Stiepelman. Peter Stiepelman is a great resource. I would reach out to him because he works for a board, much like me. And so, you make these relationships, and the job becomes a lot easier because you got things to bounce off of people. It's about partnerships. It's about reaching out to chamber. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to shut down the city. It's going to affect people, and not hiding behind the cloak of that door, that locked door, and just staying in your office and hoping it goes away. You got to be out there in front of it. And Stephanie and I, we were always meeting with people, and especially the bar and restaurant owners. I asked, Matt, can you get us going, and Matt McCormick stepped up and helped with that. Were they happy all the time? No, but we were listening, and they felt like, the bars and restaurant owners who own in other towns weren't getting the same thing as they were getting here, somebody to talk to, some voice. And so that made us feel good. That taught me a lot about leadership. It taught we were doing the right thing. We weren't just making these edicts and just hiding behind everything. We were out there talking to people and experiencing it with them, their problems. And so, yeah, it took a long time to get back to here, but I believe we're here, and I think as you see the numbers, Boone County and Columbia numbers, are pretty much there, flat. But it's the other counties around us that didn't do what we did are now, they're having the issues. The hospitals are seeing the out of county people. That's where the numbers are increasing in the hospitals. It's not Boone County, or it isn't right now. Well, we're not finished, obviously. We still have this disparity index that we're continually worked on. I would love to make more headway on that in the coming months. But Jeff has been very open. He gets out and talks to the public, and they can talk to him. He's very open. He's accommodating. Our police union, they've made transitions in their administration as well. And so, I think we're all working together. We're all trying to do the same things. It takes a long time to move government. As you know, we don't move that fast. And there's a reason we don't move that fast. You don't want to make those big mistakes. We do make mistakes, but you don't want to make those big mistakes. You got to love Columbia. You have to build the relationships. You have to keep them. You have to be honest with people. Because Columbia is a unique place. It's not like any other town that I've ever been associated with. And so, it takes a lot of knitting, I would just say. You got to knit this thing together and repair the holes when you have holes, because not everybody's going to agree with you, but you can't run from them. And so you just have to hit them head on and try to work through them, and people will respect you for that. Well, it's been a great run. It's been a really good run, Lucas. And I've seen Columbia grow a lot in 18 years. It's a different than it was 18 years ago, I'll be honest about it. But it's a good thing. Change is always good. People like to keep everything the same, but I would tell you, you die if you stay the same. We got to grow and move forward at all times. And I believe, my run is over, but I believe the next person is going to carry it further.